I'm fraught with worry going forward. We're caring for some extremely vulnerable people. Powerful words made by the Associate Minister of Services for Persons with Disabilities after announcing the closure of the Michener Centre, forcing 125 vulnerable and fragile Albertans to move out of their homes. With no guarantee of enough space and resources to appropriately house Michener PDD patients, the minister's comments leave Albertans with little confidence that this government can be trusted to keep them safe. The minister is clearly worried. So how can the Premier tell clients, families and caregivers that they should not be worried too?
Mr. Speaker, the changes that we announced yesterday are part of an evolution in how we deliver care to disabled persons in our province, and indeed in Canada and across North America. And it's not something that started yesterday, Mr. Speaker, but something that's been going on for a long time and has been talked about in this House before. We will ensure there are places, obviously we're not going to turn people out on the street as the honourable member would if she had the position. Mr. Speaker, we currently have the positions available. We will do individual planning that will involve the families and guardians of each of those people, and they will be placed in appropriate settings, Mr. Speaker.
Shame on you, Minister. Given that there are 400 highly trained and specialized staff who have loved and cared for these clients of Michener, and given that the minister has suggested this closure is about dollars, when will the Premier truly stand up for vulnerable Albertans and ensure that they continue to receive the much-needed and specialized support that is provided by these staff?
Well, I think that the honourable member should probably decide if she's concerned about the clients in the centre, Mr. Speaker, or the staff in the centre. We're actually concerned about both. And, Mr. Speaker, from our perspective, we know that community living is the most important way for people that are living with challenges and disabilities to live with dignity, and it's important for us, Mr. Speaker, to continue to talk about this plan. Mr. Speaker, that is fundamentally exactly what our minister did yesterday by taking the time, very importantly, to meet with families, to meet with community partners, to ensure, Mr. Speaker, that there is a dignified transition that's going to allow for further expansion of community living, which is appropriate in Alberta.
Communication is the key. Given that this is not the first time this government has left vulnerable Albertans at risk after displacing seniors in Carmangay on a whim, and given that this government put this closure under embargo through the budget, when will the Premier raise the bar on accountability and transparency by letting Albertans know when facilities in their communities are going to close and release the list of obvious closures happening?
Hear, hear.
Mr. Speaker, the honourable member obviously doesn't know how such decisions are taken or announced. Obviously, I couldn't announce it before the budget because I have funding in the budget that requires that. Mr. Speaker, this is part of a transformation of care that will allow us to offer a broader array of services to a broader array of persons with disabilities in this province, and that's the right thing to do, which is why we're doing it. I don't know who the honourable member is standing up for, but it's not persons with disabilities in our province, Mr. Speaker.